Welcome to Fireworks on TVC News. Last week, our chat with the Vice Chancellor of Obafemi Awolowo University revealed what seemed to be simply a temporary solution to the funding problem of Nigerian universities, as the 30 billion naira released by government only catered to the backlog of earned academic allowances of a few years up until 2012, well, at least for OAU. A lot of the issues of infrastructural deficit remains, and that's where we're headed today on the program, with specific focus, by the way, on OAU. Welcome once again. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Next is the health center. I'm told that the university students perceive the health center as more of a death center, that there is no treatment, there is no care offered, that perhaps the best you can get is paracetamol. And if you are prescribed any drug, you have to get it from a pharmacy elsewhere. How do you respond to this?
My response to that, as a medical personnel, is that, you need evidence, and the evidence, the best evidence you can get, is from the outcome of whatever is going on in that place. We have never lost any student, in that place. So if we are not doing well, you will find that people would have been dying. But that is not the case. So you cannot expect the level of treatment in a teaching hospital from the health center. We have the teaching hospital that is like 10, 15 minutes away from the campus. But we also have a health center that has even gynecological facilities, surgical facilities, and everything there. The best that you can get in any university in this country. So, but, students, when they wait 5-10 minutes, and they are not being attended to and everything, so they get pissed off and they can write whatever they want to write. Yes, there is room for improvement in any system, but the health center in OAU cannot be compared. I've been to so many other universities. There are universities in this country that
you know what I'm laughing from. I wonder if we're talking about the same health center that your people at OAU told me about.
Yeah, because
you're saying it's the best.
Yeah, hey, go and look at other health centers in the country.
Okay.
It's the best. There are 17 doctors in that health center.
I'm told that the officials there are known to sleep.
You mean? Yes, they can tell you. That's why I've asked you, what is the source of all this, your negative information? Because it's surprising to me that anybody will be saying this.
Your health center is the best. Okay, OAU students are free to challenge this information. Yeah. I know you're a very busy man. I want us to manage your time, yes. Prof. I am also told that there is no potable water on campus, that in fact students have to go to the stream to fetch water. What is the current state of the dam in OAU? How much in terms of funding has been committed to its repair, if it is not true that it's not functioning?
You see, what happened is we got that dam was constructed in 1981, so, and the population on campus at that time is very different from what we have now. So, and with that kind of population, you expect that there should be improvements in the dam. But a few years back, because of certain things going on, in terms of the ecological problem in town, they had some kind of drainage, and that was passed to that dam. So then we had a high level of siltation, So that reduced the amount of water, that you can pump from that dam. Okay. Then the Federal Ministry of Water Resources decided, to assist the university. And so they started the construction. So part of that construction, sometimes you have to change the pumps, you have to do everything. And so in doing that, there's no way you can get water, to the halls of residence periodically. And sometimes too, because of the nature of that water, you need a lot of aluminum sulfate and everything. When contractors disappoint you or something, you may not pump water for a day or two. So students, yes, it's true, students we have to look for. We use our tankers and everything to supply them water. But some might find it much more expedient, to go and get water from a stream that is very close to their hall of residence.
Yes, one bit of information is true.
That is true. But that is because that construction was actually going on, and that has been completed now. So, but there is a second phase of it, which will be the dredging, of that particular dam. So people have to be, people have to understand, sometimes that nobody wants that kind of situation, but it do happen. And so when you do it, maybe 365 days in a year, and then you are fetching water 3 days in a year because something happened, and that is the one you are telling the whole world. You are not telling them that 362 days in the year you enjoy, maximum supply of water. But additional to that, now we now have a backup, which yes, we have had boreholes now in all the halls of residence, and that was supported by the Alumni Association. So we can be sure now that yes, that is going to be in reserve. We're still going to be using our dam, but when there is a challenge now, we can resort to the use of the borehole.
In line with that, I'd like you to respond to some of these concerns. They say that it is important for management to answer why halls like Moremi and another hall are not occupied at full capacity. Meanwhile, students now have to go out of campus to get accommodation. And they say it is because this approach to managing things favors some members of the academic community in the institution. And by favoring some members of the academic community, it may mean, I had to ask what they mean, and they said that perhaps they own some of the properties in town. What do you say to this, Prof?
I don't know of anybody who is involved in allocating hostels that actually has any property in town. Let me tell you, one day I was taken aback when somebody said, yes, we were told that you have one hostel in town. I said, me? He said, yes. I said, hostel? That has never, I'm not a businessman. I'm an academic. So I've never. So people say a lot of things. But what is happening, currently is that the students, the students, they are not happy, that they have to stay in town. But the people in town, they're very happy, that students are staying among them. It was impossible during the Ife Modakeke crisis. But now, Ife town is like every other town, now. So you no longer have...
But is it true that some halls are either unoccupied or not occupied at full capacity?
Let me tell you, AU, that is impossible.
Is the accommodation policy skewed?
I'm telling you that we have fewer bed spaces than the number of students that we have. Why must we keep spaces without accommodating students there? So what is possible? What is possible? I don't know why they are coming out with this, but what is possible is that you may allocate, because we allocate to final year students and to first year students. Sometimes you may allocate to a student who would not use that, but before they used to sell it, you buy, you get accommodation for 90 naira, and you go and sell it for 150,000 sometimes 200,000. Now we discourage that. If we see you do that, we take it away from you and we allocate to another person. So they rather keep it if they are staying in town. Some are staying with their parents in the staff quarters and everything. So they rather keep the one in the hostel for exam period when they will be coming there to read.
But Prof, do some management staff own properties in town?
I don't know.
Can you dismiss that?
I don't know.
So it's a possibility.
I can dismiss that.
It's a possibility that they own properties in town.
No, why not?
And so they're profiting from the need for accommodation by students of OAU.
Let me tell you, there are members of staff of the university who actually own hostels in town. And that is legitimate. So there are people on campus who have tenants. If you build your house, you have two flats or something, and you are living in one, why will you close the other one? You have to bring people in there. And there are people who also accommodate students at no cost. So And there are members of the Ife community that also accommodate students. So to say that there are members of management who own hostels or something, I am not aware of any member of management, but I'm aware of our members of staff, you know, who are lecturers, who own hostels. Some converted their normal residence.
And can you say as VC categorically
Yes.
that all halls are occupied at full capacity?
I can say that we allocate all. In fact, people come to ask for accommodation and we tell them, sorry, it's already filled to cap. Why will anybody leave empty spaces? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so tell us about Paraking, the structure that is a product of the needs assessment that is built as a hostel for students of OAU at Paraking.
Yes, we have a structure at Paraking. So, and we have tried to allocate that. But the reason why we have not allowed our students to occupy that place now is that there is a crisis, you know, between the campus and the Ife community, you know, in terms of that location. And I don't want to lose any student. I don't want to put
why
any
was
of
the
our
structure put up at Paraking in the first place?
Because,
why wasn't it built on campus?
No, because that land belongs to the campus. There is no controversy as to who owns that land.
But was the university unaware of the prospects of disputes between it and the locals before the structure started off?
Yes, nobody thought that would ever happen. It's a recent event.
How recent is recent?
Maybe in the last 6 years.
6 years.
Not more than that.
And how much was collected from students, if I may ask, for accommodation at Paraking?
Well, for accommodation at Paraking, we have said that cannot be a 90.
I am told that
it can't be a 90 naira
university
accommodation.
charged them 150,000 naira.
No, that
and
is
now
not true.
students that paid have to occupy.
No.
Is it postgraduate?
No, that is not.
The postgraduate hall now. They're now
No, that is not true.
at sea as to
That is not true.
the accommodation needs.
That is definitely not true. Whoever is telling you that one is not telling you the truth. What happened is that there is this hostel, you know, at the PG hall, you know, which actually was reserved for foreign students. So, and we cannot be running the hall, you know, at 90 naira for foreign students. So that is the hall that you are referring to. That is the one that you are referring to. And yes, it's true, it's a one-bedded room with all the conveniences and everything, free electricity, free everything there. And that is the one that you are referring to. The
So
university cannot...
How much did the university charge students for the Paraking scheme?
For the Paraking scheme, I think it was 35,000 or so.
Not 150,000
no.
naira. Have their funds...
Maybe I can't tell you now because, but I know that it's
have their
really...
funds been released to them or made
when
to
we were
suit what they are now occupying at postgraduate hall?
No, hold on. When we realized that it was COVID-19 one, you know, made it impossible to go to that place. Then secondly, when we realized that that was not going to be possible, we asked all of them to get their refund. So some of them opted to come, you know, to campus. And those who were not ready to come to campus actually got their refund. So nobody will hold on to your money when you are not going to have. But we are not
refunded.
Yes, those who wanted. But many of them said no because they really wanted to keep that so that they are still on campus and they are saying no. But those who wanted...
And those who have... Who may have contrary information can challenge you on this, Prof.
Why not?
All right.
So if you want your refund, you will always get your refund.
Okay.
So we will not keep anybody's money. But I'm not as Vice Chancellor. One of the things that I have said is that during my tenure as Vice Chancellor, my prayer and my objective is to ensure that all our students are kept safe. You know. So it's easy to ask students to go to that place, but that's not what I want to do.
As we go on now, I'm told OAU is in darkness at night, and there is supposed to be an independent power project that is in construction. As a matter of fact, the Minister of State for Power visited the institution sometime last year and promised that it will soon be completed. What is the progress report on that?
Yes, you know, COVID-19, it's not last year, I think it's the other Yeah, so the Minister of State for Power was there. This project ought to have been completed in October 2019, but it ran out of funds. But the latest information now is that government has actually provided some additional funds for the completion of that project. So we are quite happy and we are grateful to TED Fund.
Okay. And there's more challenges to talk about in OAU, but now let's look at OAU at 60 so that we can manage our time. Tell us about some of the achievements that the university will be celebrating in commemoration of OAU at 60.
Well, thank you very much. You know, at 60, I can tell you that Obafemi Awolowo University has produced the best of whatever personnel or whatever leaders, you know, that we have in this country. Look at any aspect of our national life, you will find products of Obafemi Awolowo University there. If you go to the medical field, which is my own field, you know, you have from minister to every other, you know, you find OAU there. You go to the media industry to which you belong, you find that most of the leaders there, they are also products of Obafemi Awolowo University. You go to the law profession, more than
not the brilliant ones. The brilliant ones, you know, attended an institution here in Lagos, but you can't continue.
You know, here in Lagos, you see, even in Lagos, the former vice chancellor of LASU had all his degrees from Obafemi Awolowo University. The current vice chancellor of UNILAG, the university that you are trying to refer to, I don't know, because if it's not LASU, it will be University of Lagos. So okay. Even the University of Lagos, the vice chancellor had his first degree, second degree, PhD, all from Obafemi Awolowo University. So, and ditto for many of the vice chancellors in most of the Nigerian universities.
So
that's what we are
celebrating.
Yes, that's what we are celebrating. Then in the law profession, we have more than a third of our graduates as senior advocates of Nigeria. We have our graduates sitting at the Supreme Court, Appeal Court, you know, and the rest of it. And when you go to engineering, that is where we have actually, you know, excelled, you know, in the field of engineering. You go to the pharmaceutical industry. So that's one thing that we are celebrating. We are also celebrating the kind of patents, you know, that had also come, you know, also from Obafemi Awolowo University, particularly in recent times. I can tell you that our researchers just in 2016 developed something that will enable you to diagnose tuberculosis, you know, just from the sweat of that individual. That's one thing that, you know, we are very proud of. And then we also have what you can use, you know, for sickle cell anemia, sicculin, you know, we have for asthma, you know, from natural products. So there are quite a number of things that we are celebrating. We are also celebrating also the beauty of that university, which a number of people really don't want to accept, you know, by saying some of these things. Obafemi Awolowo University is the most beautiful campus, you know, in Africa, and it still remains so. And it's not by accident, it's because it was designed by the best architect in the world at that time, Ariel Sharon. You know, he is the one that designed the state of Israel. So, and he was brought to Obafemi Awolowo and he did all that. So what we are doing now is to also project to the future. And so we are appealing to all our friends, you know, our alumni, you know, everybody to come to the support, you know, of Obafemi Awolowo University, and as we celebrate, you know, to join us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as part of the activities marking your 60th anniversary, I'm also told that over the years, OAU has also expanded some of its programs and faculties. Tell us more about that.
Yes, we have some innovative programs, but let me just spotlight one because of our time. You know, we have started the aeronautic engineering program in OAU, and we are the first federal government institution to start an aeronautic and aerospace engineering program. But it's not just the normal run-of-the-mill kind of program that we are introducing to OAU, but we're also having the airstrip, you know, which will come with it. So it's a complete package. And so the building for that is already, you know, under construction. And I hope they won't also look at that building and say it's, it's something else. But so that's one program, for example, that we're very proud of. We're also introducing the mass communication, you know, it's been unbundled. So we're having 5 of the components, you know, we are starting that. And so we also have registered, you know, some other programs in software engineering, cyber security, you know. So, and we have been going to almost all the other West African states and West African countries and bringing them to OAU, you know, and many of them have had their PhDs, their masters and everything from our Faculty of Technology. They are under the African Center of Excellence in Software Engineering, and we are very proud, you know, to be doing that, you know, for the West African countries, not only for Nigeria. So there are quite a number of things to celebrate.
Of course, those are achievements that you should be proud of, you know, to mark the 60th anniversary of Obafemi Awolowo University, and you have our best wishes in the future. Thank you very much for being. Yes. Thank you very much for being on Fireworks. My guest has been Professor Tokwe Ogubodede, Vice Chancellor Obafemi Awolowo University. Thank you for watching, and we urge you to join us again same time next week when we bring you another edition of the program. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Bye for now.